Let's go while we're young.
Get a drink and take a seat. You're in the back room. Lucky you. I mean, of all the time in history, you're alive now when this show is happening. God, you're lucky. Lucky you. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Backroom Show. Of course, I'm your old pal, Gary Williams, and I am hopelessly devoted to you. Olivia Newton-John. Right there. Well, that was like a Dominican ball player right there hitting a home run. Just doing that point to God thing. But speaking of Sandy and Olivia Newton-John, the Sandy to my Danny, this show would be nothing. You know her, you love her. She's the heart and soul of the show. Please welcome Maria Jarrell. Maria Jarrell.
Tell me about it, stud.
Oh, I see what you did there. That's from Greece.
Yeah,
Maria Jarrell, by the way, just a Steel Town girl on a Saturday night. That's it. Oh, why don't you cram more fucking pop culture references in the first 30 seconds, you fucking asshole. Hi, I'm Gary. If I just say something from movies and TV, it's the same as having a personality. Ugh, God, why do I do this? Sorry for what. I would like to pre-apologize for wasting everyone's time with this garbage. Ugh.
Listen. We all do what we gotta do to get by, my friend. If the worst thing you're doing is quoting very vague movie references, you're doing okay.
Doing okay?
It's all right.
My little dog and pony show, because maybe my dad and I didn't throw the ball enough in the backyard, so now I have to get on the fucking internet and go, hey, I saw a TV show once. Want to hear something about it?
Listen, your deep and profound love for me came from a very obscure movie reference, if you will remember. So
I know exactly what you're saying.
That's how you knew we were on the same level, how we were connected.
Let me fill the good folks in. Maria and I met doing a show back in 2008, and we found out that we had a mutual love of the Billy Crystal, Gregory Hines buddy cop classic, Running Scared. Hold on. My good friend, my work wife, Maria, gave me a DVD copy of it, which I have to this day.
It's true.
Shine, sweet freedom, shine your light on me. Yes.
I believe that we were in a group of people, and you just basically said, what is the best buddy cop movie?
Buddy cop movie.
Of the, I don't know if you limited it to the 80s or if you were like ever.
Of all time, yeah. See, a lot of people go Lethal Weapon, but no. No.
And without hesitation, without batting an eye, I looked at you and I said, Running Scared.
Yeah.
And you guys got real big, and I apparently saw into your soul.
Yes.
And freaked you the fuck out.
That is the day.
The rest is history.
I can pinpoint that I officially fell in love with you. Oh, Gary, what do you mean like a platonic?
So
no. Love.
No, deep, profound.
Deep.
Yes.
Deep love. Hey, speaking of deep love, has your place been raided by the FBI today or recently? Because apparently that's going around, Maria. I don't know. I heard something. I don't know.
For some reason, I nothing happened to me.
Nothing happened?
I mean, nothing. No.
Nobody raided on you?
Here in Royersford.
They didn't come for boxes? They took me over my safe.
Didn't want my safe.
Can you imagine what's in that fuck? I can't even imagine. We'll talk about that. Oh, God. Ugh, some fucking used rags and jellies and...
I don't know.
Toupees. Toupee glue. Toupee tape. That's my toupee tape. Leave it alone. Probably Trump brand toupee tape. No, it fucking doesn't work. Hey, speaking of things... I am terrible at segues. Before I forget, so remember my buddy Barb, who watches the show, who I think she's watching tonight, with my buddy Tracy. What's up, ladies? They've been friends forever.
Hello.
Forever. They've been friends, seriously, like fucking 45 years or some, whatever. Anyway, so you know how Barb sent me a picture from her home of her and her husband watching the show on TV, on YouTube app or whatever. Well... She sent me another picture. They were down at the shore, and they're sitting. It's a lovely picture. And she had a tablet, and you could see this. They're outside, and they're having a glass of wine, a beer. And she wanted to get in the chat and stuff, but she accidentally watched it a day late.
Aww, but that's okay.
That's what I said. That's exactly what I said. I said so. So as long as you watch. So here's the picture of Barb. Yeah. You can see that she's watching on a tablet. There you go.
That's sunset, baby.
Sunset. Look how gorgeous that is, dude. And that's you can see Rebecca, and you can see the lovely and bearded Matt Ferranda, very close in there. They're having a glass of wine and a beer, just kicking back. And you know what they thought to do? They're like, you know what we need to do while we're chilling and relaxing? We need to watch the Backroom Show. Dude, they chose us over anything.
Right.
They could have probably turned around and watched two dogs going at it or something like that. But they chose us, Maria. They chose our show over two dogs going at it.
They were in their back room watching our back room.
Okay, there's something.
Because isn't that the whole concept of the show? Is like you have a beer, you sit down, like chatting with old friends in the back room of Izzy's, I believe was the name of the bar.
That's why this works, Maria. Exactly. The back room is a state of mind. Exactly. The back room is a night out.
Absolutely. The back room could be wherever you need it to be.
Wherever you need it to be. It's hanging out, talking about whatever. In fact, we've got an oh-so-fun topic we're going to talk about tonight. You know that goes.
Hey, any topic can be fun.
That's true.
If you come at it with enough humor and, and just and a clear mind and clear heart.
Yes. Anybody watching? So we have a few people. Check in the chat. Is Maria's audio sound okay? I feel like I was hearing a little bit of double. I'm not sure. It might be on my end. So, but anybody, just say hi. Very quickly, of course. Check us out. Don't forget to subscribe, chat, like, all that stuff. And of course, I mean, if you're here, you probably figured it out. But not everybody subscribes. Some people just come watch it, but they don't necessarily subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. Come on. Marie and I know we're very good-looking, entertaining people, but we actually have a lot less going on than you might think. You know what I mean? Let's be honest.
We need the validation, please.
We need validation. We're in our 50s. You know, let's be honest. You know, there's a lot more behind than there is ahead. So just do us a solid and just hit that. And of course, chat, comment. Maria, say the line that I never like to say.
Smash that like.
Smash that like button. Subscribe, like, all that stuff. And of course, check us out on Facebook also. We have 2 of them. We have the Backroom Show one, and we actually have the Backroom Network one. And actually, you can go and check out Adventures in Middle-Aged Momming, which is Maria's show, which may or may not have new episodes coming sometime in the near future. If my lovely co-host gets off her lazy Italian ass and put some new episodes out there.
It's been very, very relaxing summer, I will admit that.
Yes, I want to very quickly someone else I wanted to mention. Okay. Patty Culture checking in. I'm choosing to watch you 2 beautiful people while I convalesce. Make me laugh, damn it. Patty, are you still in the hospital? She was just in the hospital. She had a little bit of, man, this thing is way behind. I'm watching the show and I think, wow. Are you still at the hospital, Patty? I don't know. Are you still there? And then she wrote, hi,
I hope not.
Sounds good. I'm not sure. I guess that was on the... whatever, yeah.
That was on me.
There you go. Oh, that was Lady Poopington.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hi. Hi. About the audio. Sorry. I don't even follow my own show and what's going on here. Okay. I think that's it. We'll talk about why I'm tired today. I mentioned it to you before we went on. But let's not waste. Let's get rid of this. Let's hide the chat. And let's turn that off. And let's not waste another second. Okay, let me tell you something. Let me tell you a little something about. Let's go to. I'm being serious here. I'm going to the one camera. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Now, if you watch the show, or if you know me in real life, your old pal Gar, I'm a pretty amiable guy. I like to get along. I don't know what I'm saying. And I am blessed to have a lot of wonderful women friends in my life. Okay. I'm just blessed. Interesting, funny, attractive, wonderful to be around women. Well, tonight's guest isn't one of those, but she's not bad. She's not too shabby. So please welcome. You're gonna fall in love with her. This is gonna be your new internet crush. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Rose Azrael is in the back room. There she is. Hi, Rose. Rose Azrael, by the way. No assembly required.
I don't know that that's entirely true.
You are a fully formed, functional, wonderful human being.
Well, thank you.
Welcome to the back room. There she is.
How can I compare with that?
There you go. There you go. Oh, hold on. Patty's checking in again. She wrote, nope, came home this afternoon. Or she's doped up on so many meds, she thinks she's home. Let's be honest.
Either way, that's a win-win.
Yeah. Rose, you're a partier. Right? You're a partier, Rose. There's been times where you probably thought you were home and you really weren't, right?
I mean, I'd rather not comment on those times.
Fair enough. Charges pending.
Perhaps.
Charges pending. Fair enough.
People are just getting to know me. Let's not jump the gun.
So there you go, Patty. We love you. Get well soon. We'll talk. You and I will talk after the show, my buddy. Let me hide that. Sunday really quickly, I was talking about I was tired. I had to get up this morning. First of all, Rose, I'm saying Patty, I would ask you, your house been raided lately? FBI come knocking at your door, serving a warrant?
Fortunately for them, no.
For them? Yeah. Explain.
Well, anyone who shows up to our house unannounced could be met with rabid cats.
Uh-huh.
And potentially archery fire.
And a boyfriend who's a strong supporter of the Second Amendment, correct?
That is also
nothing wrong with that. There you go. Sure. There you go. Because have you been out there in this world? Not for me. Yes, Maria.
at least the one thing is like that for some reason Trump was very surprised that they had warrants. They were able to come in.
Yeah, what?
Like they waved a piece of paper and said, "Here, we could do this."
Dude.
He was shocked.
Yeah.
Shocked, I said.
Yeah.
Shocked.
Yeah.
Imagine understanding the law. That's a novel.
The Trumpers are freaking out. Go on Twitter. It's hilarious. They're like, this is what happens in banana republics, third world countries, all that. And they go, And they leave out the part where it was signed off by a judge, like, how we do the law in this country. And they consider the fact that they know he had documents. Remember that whole bunch of months ago, there was a bunch of boxes. And they just act like there's just nothing going on. He's going about his day, assembling his soon-to-be open presidential library. Imagine how many fucking magazines and pop-up books that consists of, right? It's fucking whatever, penthouse stacked to fucking eye high. And they just, oh, who's at the door, honey? Melania, check. And she fucking opened the door. She's like, he's back there. He's right back there. Go back there.
You want to go down the end of the hall?
Yeah,
you want to make a left at the end of the hall.
Mrs. Straub, with FBI here. All right, you want to go down the end of the hall?
Here's the keys to the cars.
Don't mind. Just step over all the Wendy's wrappers. You'll be fine. You'll be fucking fine.
Just don't touch her shoes.
Don't touch.
You could just leave my dresses and my stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff alone.
She's got a pretty sweet wardrobe.
I guess. I mean, well, she had that stupid jacket, right?
That was really.
I didn't get what that was about.
But she's a former model, so.
Yeah, and she did some of that nasty modeling too. Some of that adult modeling, if you know what I mean. I haven't seen a first lady pose nude like that since Eleanor Roosevelt. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. Was it like all teeth?
All teeth, exactly. Yes, Maria. Yes.
Do you think? I'm just spitballing here.
Oh, here we go.
Do you think that all the ex-wives/wives will be buried like in a row at the golf course? Or do you think that was just a special thing just for Ivana since that's
fucking believe the nerve of that asshole? So I guess Marlon Maples will go on the second tee. And of course,
I was going to say, golf course is a big place. I guess they could all be at different holes, right?
He's got a lot of different holes, if you know what I mean. What? What happened? What?
Sorry, I'm sorry. What happened?
What happened? This thing cutting out? He's got a lot more marriages he better catch up on. He's going to fill the fucking back nine. You know what I mean?
I was going to say, if he's really clever, he could, make it a, choose your own adventure sand trap, kind of situation. It's like, see who's buried in which sand trap.
That's good. And what a prize.
Yeah.
And hold on. At Halloween, right? If you hit a certain part, the fucking skeleton pops up.
Really exciting.
Dude, Halloween. Yeah. Dude, hold on. You know what? I don't golf, but I know a lot of friends that golf. I know a little bit about golf. I don't think there's themed golf. I know there's mini golf and stuff, but I don't think there's themed regular golf. So write this the fuck down. Any lawyers out there, get a hold of me. Halloween golf. So we can have Ivana, where's the wife, right? Ivanka's the daughter.
Correct.
Yeah.
He fucked them both. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Or wants to. Dude.
I hope not, but.
Dude. He was on The View that time saying, I often say that if she wasn't my daughter, perhaps we would be dating. That's on video. You can look it the fuck up.
That is true.
Somebody, I got an argument with me, said, he's just complimenting his daughter. He thinks she's beautiful. I go, by saying if she wasn't my daughter, we'd be dating.
Tap that ass.
We'd be dating. And we know what dating means. I don't think it means, we would take her out for a nice meal and maybe go see the new Tom Cruise movie. I don't know, Yuck.
Yeah, he's gross.
He's pretty gross. All right, hold on. Check it in. Check it in. Oh, there's my girl Tracy. There she is. Hi from Tracy and Barb. By the way, Tracy, as you can see there, spells it with an I. All right, so you got the I, and you got the Y, and you got the EY. All right? So all you Tracys need to meet up somewhere in the middle of the country. I don't know, Evanston, Indiana. Is that a place? I don't know. And work this shit out, okay? All right? I know the Garys with the two R's, but honestly, the two R Garys, we laugh at them. That's it. And there's
you forgot about the Tracy with the IE at the end too.
What? Just an IE Tracy too?
Yeah.
That's too far. That's too far.
I mean,
maybe one with two E's.
There could be like a TRAYSEA as well.
Well, hold on. Let's be honest. Yeah. That's certain sections of certain towns. You know what I mean? Let's be honest.
I'm just reporting the facts here.
But yeah, the different spelling of names. The different spelling of names for sure it's a young person's game, because I know just from Ellie and being in high school and just there's a lot of different kinds of spellings of traditional names.
Yes.
And you'd be surprised.
And it's dumb. And you're right, Rose, you're right about the Tracy, TRAY, whatever. These are usually names you find, say, at a twerking contest or something, whatever, right? Maybe.
I mean,
I don't know.
those are some of my favorite places.
Let's just say a black girl I don't mean that in a shitty way. That's all right. It's a cultural shift, right? It's a difference.
Could be.
Hey,
I don't think so because I have a lot. I know some.
I shouldn't be
peach
controversial for ratings, you know.
Women.
Ooh,
You
so
try to get the controversy.
That's right.
Ooh, he's so controversial.
Now, what were you saying?
He
Maria?
said a color on YouTube. It was a color. He said.
What's going on?
You just said a color.
Yeah,
You're being silly.
and I completely.
Patty checking it. Where the hell am I? She's all loopy on pain meds. Go ahead.
Aw.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good for her. Good for her.
you. So there you go. So all you Tracy's, work that shit out. The way you were saying to Maria about the different name spellings, though, it's a different time, right?
Well, yeah, it's and I think it's across everything now. It's just I think it's a youth thing rather than because we're not young anymore.
Hold on.
Gary.
What?
We're not.
You know what's so funny? Rose.
We're not.
Rose is.
We're not young. Like
look at that
Rose.
fucking mug, Canada. What?
Tim Hortons.
Tim Hortons, baby, hockey
With,
player,
my hockey stick.
Canadian
Nice.
hero.
And the little
There you go.
deuce that
There it is.
says A.
Yeah, there it is. Hold on. Let's go to the.
I
cut the
have
Rose.
Gritty.
Oh, you got Gritty. There you go.
Yeah.
Boom. American hockey. Good for you, Maria. Good
The
for
grit
you.
man.
He's a great man, Tim Horton.
Yes.
So anyway, yes. Yeah, there's a lot of weird spelling and things. I don't get it. Whatever. Do your thing. Do your thing.
Yeah. Live your
I don't get
life.
it. But then when we can't
I-
say it or don't understand it, give us a break. You know what I mean? Give me a chance to catch up that, you spelled Sean with a Q. Like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see that fucking one come. It doesn't mean I'm old and out of touch. It just means you tried to spell Sean with a fucking Q. I'm just saying. Maybe,
Well, and it's going to be on them, right? Like for the rest of their lives, they're going to be
there you go.
going to be like, I would like to. I'm guessing in another maybe decade, people are just going to be like, okay, what's your name? Jane. Okay. How do you spell that?
Yeah.
It's just going to be everything's
gonna be
like, how do you spell that?
It's going to be symbols.
Jayne. I've seen Jayne. So it's
seen
going to
that
be
too.
like that. It's just going to be like, all right, Gary, how do you spell that?
Right.
And then somebody goes to
Well, there won't be no more
regular
Garys.
way.
Garys are
And-
dying out. There's no more. No one's naming their babies
that
Gary
is true.
anymore.
They're a dying breed, Gary.
Think about it. How many people you know that are having kids that go, oh yeah, my little baby Gary. You're not going to say it.
Oh.
But you know what? It's gonna. Everything's
Rose, it doesn't
cyclical,
affect
dude.
my health. I'll be all right.
Are you sure?
It's
I mean,
all-
I don't know.
you're
You're right. I
taking this
don't know.
personally.
Yeah, I don't know. You're
Dude,
right.
it's all cyclical. You wait like another 10, 12 years.
I'm gonna be
and
dead.
like Gary will be number 2 on the baby list. I guarantee it.
I'll take
All
your
the
word for
old
it because I
women's
won't be
names
around.
are coming back. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I won't know
yes,
it.
You will. Well, I will come and I will. When you're on life support, and I will scream in your ear, and I'll go, Gary, you're popular again.
Oh,
Did you hear that? You're popular.
your name, you're back, baby. You're a
name is
star
popular.
again.
You can go now, Gary.
Yeah,
You can go.
you can go. Your podcast is number one. And people over 70, but not older than 83, who prefer the summer over the fall. It's a very niche group. Anyway, what was I saying? We're babbling here. I love it. You
That's
both,
all right. We
by
babble.
the way, you ladies look great. I have the prettiest friends.
Thank
So I wanted to tell you about why I was tired today. So I want to give a quick shout out. We had to take our lab Louie, who you both know, Louie, big lovable slobber dog Louie,
Big old lunk.
big lunk. He had a couple of lumps like under basically his 2 front armpits and things, and we wanted to get him removed. And we also, while he was under, going to get his teeth cleaned and stuff like that. And it was nothing like he's nothing wrong with him, but it's always a little harrowing, You worry when they're going under, so we had to drop him off really early. And of course, you can't really go back to sleep because you're worrying and thinking about him, all that stuff. And he's home now. He's home. He's fine. He made it through just fine. His wonderful mother
does
is
he have
taking care of him. Yes.
Does he have the cone of shame?
He did come
cone
with a
of shame.
cone. He did come with it's called an Elizabethan collar. They call it an e-collar if you think
Yeah.
about it, because it's like very Sir Walter Riley looking shit. You know what I mean? Kind of like,
Yes.
yeah, Sir Walter Riley reference. Maria, you say my old references is old. Well, they're going way the fuck back. They're going to the
That's pretty good.
1400s now.
I saw somebody and this on the TikTok made their own Elizabethan collar because the high collar was it bangs into things. And
You
it's
mean dog
awkward as
kind? A dog
egg.
kind? Or
Yeah,
just mean fashionably?
But they took pool noodles and they sliced them and then added the pool noodle, like slipped it onto their collar and enlarged
I
the
did
collar.
see that. That way, it's
So-
like a bumper.
Right. It's a little more, and it's a
Yeah.
little more, I guess, a little more, you can range emotions a little bit better. And
He doesn't have it on right now. He actually hasn't had it since he came home because we're just going to keep an eye on him. When he came home, he was a little, okay.
a little loopy.
Let me go to the one cam here. This is Louis. He's like, and he had a little trouble.
best.
Like he would turn around and he would, whoa. He didn't quite stick the landing, and then he came home. And he was like, but he's getting a little bit better. Just before I came down for the show, he was, but he definitely came home a fucking Latin loopy Lou for sure. Wow. But he's doing good. They get him on some pain meds. So Patty and my dog, apparently, 18% of all people I know are currently, and animals I know are currently taking pain pills. So, have at it.
Could be worse.
Have at it. Go. Well,
They're living through chemistry, my friends.
Hold on. Rose registered class, that's none of my business. Shit, look at that. So anyway, I want to give a quick shout out to the good folks at Willow Creek Veterinary Center and Dr. Moran specifically. She's our favorite vet. So if you live in the Reading area, Berks County, whatever, and you're looking for a vet, I highly recommend going to Willow Creek. They've been taking care of our babies for, even before Denise and I, when she had cats, she's been going to them. So, 25 plus years, So anyway, that's all. I just want to give a look. My Louis home. He's chilling out now. And,
good.
And I'm not even.
Be well, Louis.
Did I get emotional? You bet your ass I did. And I am.
Of course you did,
not
Gary.
ashamed
It's
to
your
admit
puppy
it.
dog.
I'm that guy. I'm the crying over my dog guy. And you know what? Fuck you if you fucking make fun of that or whatever.
I'm going to start sending you really adorable TikToks about dogs and just see if I can get you crying on a daily basis. Because there are some things that are really, and not in a sad way, but in like a touching way.
You're going to hear about me having to go to the hospital for dehydration because I will cry. I'll cry it all out. That's it.
All right.
You know what? What a wonderful segue. Speaking of crying, I think I got all my things in. Yeah, I'm going to shout out to Patty, doing good. We want to talk today. We have a subject. We don't. It depends. Sometimes we kind of have a topic. Sometimes we kind of wing it and get to it, whatever. But today we wanted to specifically talk about the so funny topic of death.
I've been dying to talk about this topic.
People are dying to hear about it. Maria, what was the thing you referenced at one time about, my fainting couch? Get me to the fainting couch, whatever. Remember that? Yes. Maria, I love when Maria makes a fainting couch reference because that's always fun. Yes.
I do. It's my delicate nature.
My delicate nature. So why I wanted to talk about it is there seems to have been an unusual amount, and I'm getting older, and I get that. You get older, people that were older than you are really old now, and of course, I get it. I understand how life works, but it seems like there's been an extraordinary amount of, in my circles or people I know, whatever, death or, death adjacent things like illnesses, that are
family members, kind of, family members.
No, friends, actually, friends.
No?
There's friends and things,
Okay.
but the cancers and things that are, in the worst stages kind of thing. So, I don't know. I just thought, of course, Maria, you perfectly brought up the point talking about the show, what the show is always about. And the show is having a good time with your pals and sitting back and joking and laughing. But then sometimes you also talk about, you get the Irish poet up in you, you drink a few, you go, let me tell you, kind of thing. So that's going to, so we're going to talk about a dark topic today, but you know what? I bet we'll have so many chuckles and laughs and things, right? Look at Rose already over there, right?
I mean,
I'm just
Go ahead.
thinking I didn't have my
Rose.
tissue box nearby.
You have what?
I don't have my tissue box nearby, so let's keep it funny, kids.
Do you have a sleeve? Do you have a long sleeve?
I have like a Rue pocket.
Perfect. A Rue pocket. Just use your hair. Just whatever. So like I said, I just spent the weekend, a couple weekends ago, Denise and I went over to the house of a friend of mine who's since school, since the 80s. And they have stage 4 colon cancer. And by their own words, they're, kind of rounding third. And, I believe this phrase was, and knowing there's not going to be safe at home kind of thing. And it really got me thinking, and I'll pose a question here, and this is sort of what I want to get the opinions of you and anyone listening is, there's always the old, do I want to say, basically, other than like an accident, it comes down to sort of like getting cancer and, a sort of a slower death, or the widowmaker, heart attack, go to sleep, lights out kind of thing. So, I think like a lot of people, you always think, well, I want the lights out one. I don't want to suffer. I don't want to linger and whatever. But I tell you what, who says that? People that aren't necessarily all that old, I think. I don't know. So I'm having an internal debate. I both have different reasons. So you get to make amends, goodbyes, affairs in order, all that kind of stuff. So I'll bring it to you, ladies. What are your thoughts on that topic?
Well, I think it's kind of a catch-22 in that, like if you are the person who is going to be, who is on the downside of life, you say, oh, I don't want to suffer. I just want to go quick and it'll be fine. And that's great for the person who is dying because you're dead, and it's done and there is no suffering. But those kind of deaths are always, I think, really hard for the people that are left behind because they're the ones dealing with, the sudden loss. They're dealing with the aftermath, and they're dealing with, like you said, like things that might have been unresolved. And then they think about the fact that, so many things that, you're not going to be here for this and they're not going to be here for that. Whereas somebody who has a diagnosis and has a prolonged end, it's kind of the opposite, where yes, the person who is going through it is going to suffer more. Hopefully will be able to, through hospice and palliative care, be able to handle that.
Yeah.
But and we saw this with my mom. You get to kind of make you prepare. The end is coming. Even though you don't want that end to happen, you're still going to miss
things. You're still going to miss.
Yeah, but
I don't get to walk my daughter down the aisle. I don't get to, and that still happens. But
I feel like that. But you do have time to prepare yourself for that, right? You depending on how long of a prognosis you have, whether it be a few months or a couple years. Like you said, you're going to round third, and then it's going to be the end, and that's coming no matter what. So right. I think that it's a great way, yes, to get your affairs in order, to try to see friends you haven't seen,
to mend fences,
to mend fences if you want, and if the person wants that fence mended, and it gives you It's tough because it depends on the amount of, suffering is always something that, for some people might not be such a big deal, and other people don't want to have to do it at all. Well, and it's very personal. Death is very personal, I think. And that's the thing that I learned with my mom, because my mom didn't want to really explore a lot of options to try to extend her life. She just didn't want to do it.
Did she have cancer?
And that was her choice. And I had to respect that choice because
did she have cancer?
It was her death. She had multiple myeloma, which is a blood, a cancer of the bone marrow. Okay. But she also had COPD from smoking most of her life. So the fact that those two kind of glommed on together and really made the end of her life really rough. So it was something that she hated being sick. She didn't like being sick. She didn't like being around people when she was sick. She was, it's a very death is very personal to everybody, to anybody who's going through it. And I get that. And you can't live for anybody else but yourself. Right. Like, people say, well, can you hang on for the grandkids, or can you hang on for the, and it's a little selfish, and it's hard because then you feel like you have to do it because you don't want to let people down. when really that might not be what you want to do.
Maybe.
So yeah, it's tricky.
Let me interrupt you here. Let me pivot. And speaking of suffering and kvetching, let's go to our Jewish friend Rose. It's funny because Rose is one of the chosen people. Maria, you're Italian, so I'm definitely picturing this like, oh, I don't, because there's all the cliches.
Mourning is very similar.
There's a cliche about that kind of thing. Now Rose,
I was like, yes.
Rose is it's how old we are. Rose is quite a bit younger than us, and she's still almost 40. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and luckily, she has both of her parents are, you post pictures. They look pretty healthy and vibrant, whatever.
Well, they've had a tough year this year, to be honest. But
you don't have to go into it. It's your private business. But so, what are your thoughts about the whole slow versus the lights out thing?
Even recently been the bystander to sort of both of those scenarios. So, and I said to Gary when we were talking about this, I was like, I am like the biggest weenie when it comes to mourning and death. So like the chances of me crying about something are really high on this call. So, sorry, friends. So like, my best friend's mom passed away from cancer, and she had a really nasty, awful time of it, especially towards the end. And while it was wonderful that, we had the opportunity to have those years, like 2 decent years before it really went downhill, and, we were able to get stories written down and have that time together. Like, watching her languish at the end was the most heartbreaking thing I have ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And I this was my best friend's mother, not even my mom. Like,
right. And I know the woman she's talking about from the theater community, and I don't think they come any nicer. Like, the most strongest, like, matriarch. Like, people use that word. Yeah. Like, this was a matriarch. This is a woman who, and funny thing is, I don't get too proud. Well, no, but she was not big in stature at all.
No,
a very tiny woman, but she was wonderful. I just want to say that. So I know she was like a mom to you, and she
very
was just
much.
a wonderful person.
Having that opportunity to sit and talk, and but also sort of knowing at the back of your mind, like, oh, this might be the last Passover we have together, or the last, whatever. It's really hard. I mean, like, as a person who's going through that, and I said I was going to cry, so I'm probably going to cry.
That's okay. Let it out. If you go back a few episodes, I cried my ass off when the war in Ukraine started. Remember that, Maria? Crying. Yeah. I don't give a shit. Yeah. It's it, baby. This is what we do here. This is real.
Topic.
We keep it real.
But on the flip side of that, like, a very good friend of mine, her husband passed away in an automobile accident. It was his fault, but regardless, like, he was there one night and then all of a sudden he was not.
Right.
And watching her kind of reconcile all of that was equally devastating. So I mean, like, I don't really think there's a good out. To be perfectly honest,
because it all ends in death, of course.
Yeah, there's always damage left behind for those who loved.
Yeah,
I guess. Like, if you were a real asshole and like a total curmudgeon and no one loved you, then pick your own adventure. Like, off yourself however you like. Right. But like, if you've made an impact or like made connections with people, no matter how you go, it's going to be difficult. Yeah. I don't know that I have one that's better than the other, to be honest.
Well, I think, and I can only speak for myself, but I think, I know it'll change. Your attitude will change, your outlook, or whatever. At least how, maybe not opinion, but sort of how you approach it when, as I've said earlier, when you've got less in front of you than you do behind you, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Like the idea of death, I'm not afraid of like, oh, what's out there, because, I don't know. I'm loved. I have a good life. I have a nice family and friends, that kind of thing, whatever. No, we all want a little bit more, but I think, gosh, I mean, I don't know. The idea of being able to sort of, I don't know. again, it's not like, hey, one's better, whatever. It is. It's a sort of a devil's bargain, whatever. But
Yeah.
I think the idea of being able to like impart some stuff, let people know, whatever, mend some fences, all those things we said. I mean, if you got to choose one, now we're going to take a quick little sponsor break here. But when we get back, we're going to talk about a topic that is very. Denise and I talk about this, and I think she's here in the chat, and she might pipe in. She's got some very strong feelings on this, and that is your right to die, your right to choose, because as we know, it's not equal across the board as far as legalities and things. So, and we talk about my body, my choice, that kind of thing. And also, I just want to say very quickly, Denise reminded me of this. It was something my dad always said, because we talked about, there can be humor in anything, whatever. And my dad, who's gone now, he very blue collar, literally dirt on his fingernails kind of guy. And he used to, his long standing joke was, I don't want you guys, because I have 4 brothers and sisters, I don't want you guys to bother with anything big, elaborate, casket, all that stuff. He would say, and I quote, shove a bone up my ass and let a dog drag me away.
Oh,
That would be the great Glenn Williams. Shove a bone up my ass and let a dog drag me away.
Please tell me you put that on his gravestone, please.
Okay. No. He was cremated. But
No.
let me tell you something. We had the dog's head.
You could paint it on the urn.
We had the dog's. We actually split it's a whole weird thing. I'll explain it to you later. I have like 1/4 of him or 1/5 of him, and it's whatever. But we had a dog, but it took too long, and the dog eventually died.
Yeah.
The bone rotted.
Right.
We had this thing set
make
aside.
sure the bone's the right. You got to make sure the bone's the right length.
Like,
and
it's
sometimes
gonna be
it's
just
not.
right.
And
They
then,
get a measures rectum, that kind of stuff.
and there's just,
and
like
the
a lot
dog.
of math involved.
The dog turned. It was basically kind of like well, I don't know if you'll get this. Kind of like Fry's dog on Futurama, where it just one day it wasn't there. Oh, talk about making you cry, Rose. You watch that and not fucking cry. So, all right. So, but I know, right? So, speaking of which, let's talk about. We're talking about death, but if you want to really be living your best life,
Right.
I don't know. You're going to call the good folks.
Segue.
At Exeter Gutter Cleaning LLC. Now, Marie, you may have noticed, by the way, I don't know if you noticed or not, I changed my background. Let's cover a few things real quickly. I changed my background.
I was going to say, yes.
I used to be kind of a red and orange thing.
Yeah,
but
I
wasn't liking it with my skin tone. So I'm like, let me try this blue. But then what I did was I changed you notice I changed the background that our boxes are on. That used to be a light blue. But now I changed it to this gradient. I want to know what people think about it. Chime in on the chat. Still have a few people in there. And also, let us know your opinions too on the topic we were talking about. But anyway, so yeah, I made a few aesthetic changes here. And
I like it.
One of them also is the graphic. So I used to do this with Chris's ad. I would just do this, and then I would put us all in the corner. But it's kind of weedy, kind of small. I didn't like it. So what I did was, a little inside baseball here, I just shrunk it a little bit and made our box. See, look how much better that looks. Look how much better that looks.
Wow.
Beautiful. That way you can see us.
And we can Vanna White it.
Boom. Look at that over there. Vanna White.
Wow.
That's right. See, Rose, you're not that old. I mean, not that young. Vanna White reference.
Sharp logo.
Ta-da.
Very sharp logo.
That's right. So, okay, we've talked about this. It's, let's be honest. Some of you, your house, I've been by it. You're kind of letting things go. All right? I'm seeing all the algae build up, all the stuff. It's a little crappy. Well, you know what?
Yeah, we're not even going to talk about the mold.
We're not going to talk about the mold. Oh, all that stuff.
We're not even talk about the mold.
Let's be honest. You've been kind of slipping a little bit, So, well, guess what? Worry no more, because you've come to the right place. Because you're going to call my buddy Chris Herder at Exeter Gutter Cleaning LLC, who, by the way, I want to have on very soon. So keep watching the show. Hopefully, the next couple of weeks he'll be on. Now it says Exeter Gutter Cleaning, but as we talked about on the show, it's so much more. It's so much more. In fact, Maria and I have a campaign going to try to get Chris to change the name to, Maria?
Exeter Gutter Cleaning and More.
And More, which of course is the dash and more. which is the
Or
cute little font they would use like for cereal or something. You know what I mean?
Although, Gary,
Yes.
I gotta be honest with you.
Please.
I have to confess.
Please.
I have been thinking about this in my
Uh-oh.
in my during when I'm not here.
Yep.
And I kind of am thinking now maybe Exeter gutter cleaning, etc. Because you got the X in Exeter.
God fucking damn it, that's
gutter
genius.
cleaning, etc. and etc.
I bet Herder right now
Exeter,
is watching this on his phone while he's outside painting. He's
more
painting the
on the
van.
back of it.
He's as we
Son of a
speak.
bitch.
Son of a fucking
And he's
cross
like-
the fuck you motherfuckers for how many months are like and more, dash and more. I finally fucking get around to it. And now this fucking guinea broad comes up with this brilliant idea. Chris wouldn't say guinea broad.
Exeter gutter cleaning and etc.
And etc. Oh, that's so good.
Etc.
Etc. I like it. So, Herder, if you're middle of painting your truck right now, sorry, bro.
Stop.
Right now. Stop no more. But exactly. So, like we've been saying, of course, he'll clean your gutters. He'll put gutter guards on. He did work for me. I was having some issues. It was leaking. I had some about foundational issues. Well, guess what? My man Chris came along. Boobity-boobity-boo. Waved his magic wand. Set a spell. Did one of these kind of things. Boom. All better. Problem seriously was solved instantly. And funny enough, the day he did it, it rained really, really hard. And where normally it would be pouring over the side, I looked out that night. Nary a drop. Nary a drop, Rose. What do you think about that?
I like it.
Huh? Are you feeling my big gutter energy?
I am. And as an Exeter girl myself, I appreciate a local business as well.
Yes, to go. And he's based in Boyertown. Which is kind of local too.
But he services Exeter.
He does, absolutely. He services a 1-hour radius of Boyertown, which is going to be all of Berks, big chunk of Montgomery, some Lehigh, I guess, whatever.
Probably some of Chester too.
Yeah, I guess it would be, yeah. And I'm telling you, so much more than just that kind of like pressure washing, cleaning, all that stuff, which she does. Because let's be honest, you might buy that little crappy one over at Lowe's, and it's okay for cleaning stuff off, but he's got the one. He's got the one that's going to do the job that, as we often see on the show, is going to make your neighbor's wife think about sleeping with you. That's it. You know that one. You know that one a couple houses up. You know. Hey, come on, bring it in. This is old pal Gary. Let's not play games here. You know the one we're talking about. You know that one. Well, guess what?
The big ones.
She walks by one day and she sees that your siding is clean now, and looks at her own place, and her husband's kind of been slacking on it, and you're taking the Frank Thomas boner pill. I don't know.
And the fact that that Chris will not only do the job, but do it quickly and efficiently. And not waste time.
Not waste.
You're going to call somebody. He's going to be there to do the job for you quickly and efficiently.
And you get a real guy. This is not one of these big box stores where when you hire them, they subcontract out. We talked about that disaster that we had at our old house when somebody came in from who knows where, and they let somebody in the house to have a glass of water, and the guy who was doing the work smelled horribly. Chris, smells okay. He smells okay.
Like a forest after a summer rain.
Or freshly baked donuts. So if you want your contractor to smell like freshly baked donuts, all kidding aside.
After a summer rain.
If you have some need at your house, some light construction, exterior, bunch of interior too, chances are my man Chris, that way, will hook you up. And if not, he'll recommend somebody for you. That's the thing. And you're going to talk to him. That's it. So if you need some work done. Rose, do you need any work done at your place?
Well,
I know you're in Delco, but I'm just asking.
I was like, we're outside his radius, unfortunately.
Well, but you need some work done?
Always.
I bet he knows a guy. He could probably hook you up with a guy. Maybe we can make an exception and come down to your area. Who knows? You'd only find out one way by calling that number. In fact, you know what? It hit me earlier today. I do this all the time. And of course, we're also an audio podcast. And I always never say it. So I'm going to say the phone. Maria, say the phone number for us, will you?
Oh, all you got to do is call Chris at 610-698-3876.
Can you repeat that one more time, please?
Sure, 610-698-3876. And tell them that the back room sent you.
The motherfucking back room sent you. And of course, you see Facebook there at Exeter Gutter Cleaning LLC. Check it out. He's got a ton of before and after photos, sidewalks, sidings, all kinds of stuff. He does great work. He's just a good, hardworking local dude. So there you go. Check him out. And
That's right.
of course, can't forget the good folks. Hold on. This is one of your favorites. Good folks at BRN Podcast.
Absolutely.
I mean, are they kind of shady? You know. Yeah. But we've been saying, we're sort of in the remnants of the pandemic now. People are just getting back, kind of thing, whatever. Well, I think a great way for businesses, organizations. We've all worked in community theater. They're just little nonprofit. They're little organizations. Well, you know what? Start yourself a podcast. Connect with your followers, your customers. Hell, if you're just an individual, Rose, you want to talk about really cool hair dye colors because Rose is. I don't think I've ever seen Rose with the same hair color twice ever. And she's really, really good at it. She gets it done. So, do you do it yourself? I don't know. But maybe you want to make a podcast about it. I don't know.
I do it myself most often, yeah.
There you go. All of a sudden, audio. Everybody's audio sound okay?
Mm-hmm.
Getting a lot of noise.
Yeah, sounds great.
It might be on my end. Okay.
I think it's your ears. I think it's your
I
ears,
have these
Gary.
crappy
it's your
ears, but anyway.
50-year-old
51-year-old ears.
51 old-ass ears.
Old-ass ears.
Uh-oh.
Old-ass ears. Ears.
That sounds uncomfortable.
It really does. I have ass ears. But you know what? This is where all the shit comes out of, though. See what I did? My mouth? All right. So see, if you call the good folks at BRM Podcast, you can be that funny. Like, you can be hilarity. That hilarity come out of your mouth. And all those funny. And your neighbor's hot wife. Again, who knows? I don't know. Hey, you're the one that does that podcast, right?
She's really into podcasts,
yeah.
I guess.
I don't know. Next thing you know, she's whatever. She's casting your pod.
Giving you the eye from afar when you're getting your mail out of the box.
Hold on. Say it. Hold on, Rose. I need you to say it one more time. Say it very productively again. Say that again. What might happen?
She's giving you the eye from afar while you're getting that mail out of the box.
All right. It's time once again. Hold on. We did it before. It's time for Backroom Show Theater. All right. Here we go. Here's what's going to happen. Okay?
All right, what's the scenario?
The scenario is, all right, I'm the guy. Maria.
You always are, Garrett. Why can't I be the guy?
All right. Maria, you're my wife. Rose.
I'm always your wife. Why can't I be the other person?
Okay. Rose, you're my wife.
Okay.
Maria.
So I'll leave now then.
You're the seductress from down the street. Okay.
Ooh.
All right. So you know my podcast. It's about cars. And not, like things you drive, like the animated series of movies. All right, and you're really into it.
No Lightning McQueen.
That's all that. Yes, Lightning McQueen, all that stuff. So, all right. So I'm not gonna. Hey, honey, I'm gonna go get the mail. Okay.
Okay, don't be long, hon.
Oh, shit! Now I don't want to go out.
Oh, hi.
Okay, I'll be right back, baby. Oh, hey, Mrs.
Oh, hi. Hello, how are you?
Oh,
I'm just out here, watering my lawn and my.
I noticed you're just in a bikini.
In my moo-moo.
You're just in a bikini.
Oh yeah.
It's
one of those moo-moos that have the painted bikini on them, so it looks like.
Oh, it looks like Linda Belcher
see, I
would
fooled
wear.
you.
Okay.
I fooled you.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. Hey, honey, I'll be right in.
Hey.
Okay.
What's taking you so long?
I have a question for you, Gary.
Yeah. Go ahead, neighbor, lady.
Well, I hear that you you're into podcasting.
I called the good folks at BRN Podcast, and they got me started. They're great.
Oh, because
so
I was just thinking I was kind of thinking about maybe starting maybe like a fans only thing, but I figured like as a podcast.
Oh, you mean where you show
Would you be able to help me? Would you be able to help me? I could show all the different moo-moos I have with all the different kinds of painted bikinis on them. Sell them.
How do you think I could help you?
Well, I mean, the people at the BRN network, BRN, and they can set me up with all the equipment that I need, and you can maybe you can run the camera.
Where would you like to do the show?
Oh, it'll be in my basement.
Would just be us
rumpus
alone?
Room. I mean, if you want.
And we're having sex. And it's a threesome. And hold on. Can my wife come along?
Right there on the lawn.
Can my wife come along? My wife's really, I didn't want to say it. My wife's really into you. Honey, she's up for it. She's up for it. Are you in? Are you in, honey?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Boom! And scene.
Your wife is hot.
My wife's super hot. Yes. Look at that. Look at her little pretty smile, her blonde hair. Boom. There you go. That's what could happen to you if you call.
It'll happen exactly like that if you call BRL.
You know what? I can't guarantee it.
It's the script for success. It's right there.
I can't guarantee it, but I can guarantee it.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't know what that
Absolutely.
means. So if you want that to happen to you, what are you waiting for? If you want to have a threesome with your wife and your hot-ass sexy neighbor, all you got to do, there you go. Email me, Gary@backroomnetwork.com. Now, the phone number, as I was saying, don't call me. Don't call.
Don't do it.
2022.
Text him.
Come on. Texting's the way to go. You know, you call me, I'm like, Now, if you text me and you go, hey, Gary, I too would like to start a podcast because I'm going to do weird, freaky shit with my neighbor down the street. Well, then we're going to get on the horn. We're going to talk.
Right.
Then we're talking. Oh, there's no question.
Initial contact, always text with initial contact.
Yeah.
You don't,
Yeah. Hey, Rose, did you have any idea that this would be the show you'd be coming on?
I mean, I didn't know I was coming on anything right now.
That's why I have Rose on the show. There it is. Sorry, BRN Podcast. There you go. BRN Podcast. So check us out. All right, let's go to the chat. We've got some people chiming in. Oh my God! Listen. Oh my God! Hold on. I'm gonna be blush. I'm gonna blend with that color now. I'm gonna blush. My buddy Tracy says we like the new colors. It really brings out your eyes.
Oh. It does now that I'm seeing it. Yeah.
A potato has eyes. Maybe she means is there a potato somewhere? Hold on, Tracy. I'm talking to you right now. This whole show now about Tracy here. I adore you.
Would you like me to leave?
No, please stay. You're a wonderful person. You're sweet. You're smart. Well, if you want, we'll talk about your business that you have. Maybe we'll promote that one day because she has a wonderful. What was that beep? A wonderful business that she runs. That said, I'm reading your post there. Keep it in your pants. Gonna have to answer to keep it in your pants. Man. Believe me, I get it. All right, I see myself in the mirror. I get what you're saying. All right, believe me, you're not the first person to be wanting a shot of vitamin G. You know what I mean? You know, but
it's a temptation.
I try to keep that one together. I'm sorry.
On a daily basis.
That's right. So I love and respect Tracy.
This is why we do it over Zoom because I can't be in the same room with Gary.
Over Skype, yes.
Because
she can't.
Yeah, right. Sorry,
she can't.
Skype.
Oh, I see what you're. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's why we have to do this.
We tried.
Over the interwaves.
We tried.
Because it doesn't work if we're in the same room.
Let me show you what's happening, okay? All right, I'm sitting there doing a show, and Marie was in the studio with me, and this is what kept happening. This is what kept happening. I hear. Just see, and she was
like,
one way. I'm like, Dad, you can't, Marie, you can't. I'm a married man.
How many shirts did you rip through, Maria?
13.
Oh, 13, yeah.
13 shirts. So,
Tracy, sheets, huh?
With all due respect, you're a lovely woman, but I'm sorry.
I get it. No, I totally understand.
She's right now at home going, shut the fuck up. And then we have Patty. Hold on. Check this just in. Patty, who was recently married and recently became a new homeowner with her husband. We are actually calling Chris about our gutters soon. And make sure when you call him, you got to make sure you mention the Backroom Show so he knows that he's putting good money to good use.
To good people. Good times.
Good people. These are good people times. So there you go.
Good people times.
I like the new colors. Good. I'm glad. You know, all kidding aside, Tracy, I thank you for saying that because I wasn't sure. So that's the feedback that I like from people. I want to hear. Because let's be honest. Let's be honest here, okay? Maria, and I think you agree with me on this one. And Rose, you know, you're a performer. You get it. We do it for you. Mm-hmm. The viewer, listener, person in prison who's got nothing else going on. Whatever. Whatever. I don't know. Maybe you're sitting in jail awaiting your trial for storming the Capitol on January 6th. And you're like, you know what? I want to check out that jerk-off chubby guy and his cute Italian friend. Let's see what's going on there. Boom. We're here for you. Now, I'll be honest, you won't be calling Exeter gutter cleaning anytime soon because you got somebody else cleaning out your gutters, if you know what I mean. Talking about your butthole.
Or you do have to call them because you can't do it yourself because you're going to be incarcerated. So you got to have somebody do it
Maria,
for you.
I was talking about your the butthole.
Oh,
Rose got
it's
it.
a butt joke.
I got it.
They're in jail.
Yeah.
So they're getting their
The poop
gutters.
chute.
Got it. Yeah.
Talking about needing a gutter guard, but you know, I'll tell you. All right. All right. So let's get back to it. We've talked about, you know, the let's say pros and cons or whatever, but whatever you want to call it for death. Yes. With the sort of, say a cancer type death where you're, you know, you might, although you certainly get cancer and go quickly too, but versus say a lights out accident, heart attack kind of thing. But, and we teased it before we did our little commercial break here, is the all important topic of right to choose your death. Now, go ahead, ladies. How do you feel? Your take on it? I think I have a pretty good idea, but go ahead.
I think it's something that is totally valid. I feel like, you know, it is your life, and if you choose to decide, you know, that your quality of life is not there, and it's something that you're feel strong about, and especially if it's something where you definitely have like a limited amount of time before you pass, and you don't want to spend it suffering. Yeah, I think it's something that you should have the right to choose. I don't think
you need any of those circumstances. I think if you just want to do it, you're saying, you know, if you're seeing the end is near, blah, blah, blah. If you just want to not suffer anymore, mentally, whatever, you have a right to.
Yes.
Body autonomy.
Yes, I agree
your
with
body,
that.
Your choice.
But I would say the only sticking point comes when it's more of a mental issue, because that's where state of mind comes in. Because if it's something, and I'm not saying that everything can be fixed if you have a mental disability, because obviously we've seen a lot of people who have taken their own lives because of crushing mental illness. But I think that's tricky because, you know, if you're having a bad episode or a bad time of it, and make it that decision, which you see especially like I would say with like teens and younger people,
right,
because they can't see the upside of it. Excuse me. And that can get tricky.
But do you think it should be criminalized? Because it really essentially is criminal. Rose, pipe in here if you don't mind. Sorry, pipe in.
No, I was, you know, waiting for her to have her piece.
No, I'm sorry. I'm gonna mix it up a little bit here. You know,
no, that's fine.
Maybe you guys have a little mud wrestling. Whatever. I'm here to judge. Virtual fight.
I know, like, I have friends who have taken their own lives because of mental instability. Right. But on that same line, I also feel like a lot of those people are driven towards substance abuse, and somehow like overdosing on something like that is never seen as a mental issue. It's like, oh, they have a substance problem, which is inherently a mental like situation. So like a lot of people will take that as like an easier out because that's more acceptable. Right. When ultimately they're both killing themselves because they just can't do the world as it comes to them. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, to be honest. I mean, like, obviously it hurts those of us who love those people, but like,
yeah. We always, society default says, oh, well, they were suffering. There was mental illness. You know what? It's a little arrogant of us, I think, in some instances. Maybe they thought long and hard, and they're like, "This is what I want." I mean, talk about ultimate. I mean, we're coming off, you know, the reversal of Roe, and you know, we're hearing "My Body, My Choice" again. Mm-hmm. Wow, we'll talk about the ultimate "My Body, My Choice." You know, and of course, there are people that need help, and there's plenty of people that are like, "I'm glad I got saved at the right moment. I was in a dark place." I wouldn't be here now with it. Absolutely. But we get into that gray area where, it's criminalized or people decide, like Doug, you know what Doug Stanhope is? No. He's a comedian. He was one of the hosts of the Man Show after Carolla and Kimmel left with Joe Rogan. Doesn't matter. He's a comedian. And his mom, he wrote a book about it. His mom was sick, terminal, and they basically did the thing where they had a party and did all that. And she went in her room. They went in the next room and then did whatever they had to do to, say goodbye. And man, talk about, doing it your way, and I know it's a little different than like, Maria, you said about the suffering teenager. I'll never love again. That kind of stuff. And we all know that's, I don't know how we all make it through, by the way. I don't know how anybody makes it through, but seriously, by the grace of God or whatever.
There's a great documentary that I will recommend called How to Die in Oregon. And it's probably maybe 10 years old now. When Oregon was voting on whether or not to have their death with dignity law.
Right.
And they followed several people
was there a
woman
who went?
Yeah.
Yes.
She got sick.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was a young woman.
She had liver cancer.
Yeah, she's relatively young, right? Yeah, Rose.
Yeah, she's in her her 40s, mid 40s. Yeah. And it was a really great documentary to showing how the understanding of these people who have this right, and it's the way they do it is that you get a prescription for the drug. A person meets with you from the Death with Dignity Alliance. They talk about the drug. They tell you what it does. They would say when the time comes and when you're ready, I will prepare.
How was it administered? Was it a pill? Was it an injectable?
It was pills. It was pills that were broken open. The capsules were broken open, mixed with whatever drink you wanted to drink it with. So some people said that like juice seems to be the best, but if you want it with a beer, you can have it with the beer. If you want it with milk, you can have it with milk. And then when you're ready, they place it on the table, and then you pick it up and you drink it. And then they explain to you, like, you'll get very sleepy. You'll just fall asleep, and then eventually this will just slow your heart rate and just to the point where you're just, and then you pass. Oh, wow, yeah. But it was very interesting to see all the different people who were thinking about it. Most of them were older, and all of them had terminal illnesses. Obviously, people who were suffering from Alzheimer's and that kind of thing were not allowed to do it. It was just people who had these end-of-life illnesses with the time range, I think, between 3 to 6 months. And it was interesting because for a lot of people, I think I might be misquoting the statistic, but of the people who choose this and buy the drugs, I think they said like only a third actually end up taking it and using it.
Right.
Because for a lot of them, it's just knowing that they have that choice.
They have that option
there if they really can't do it anymore is enough for them to just, to know. And usually the illness or the disease will have taken them naturally or like without the use of that. Right. But I just thought that was really interesting because the fact that like just knowing that you have it's in a drawer ready to go when you're ready to use it or you feel like you can't do this anymore, it's there. You talked
and about
most don't.
You talked about obviously certain people obviously not doing it. That's an area where Denise and I have talked because in our private lives there's been issues, loved ones sort of slipping away, knowing very clearly that, and they've talked about this when they were fine about how that's how they would so not want to go through this,
want to go that way
because of themselves and any perceived burden on the loved ones. And so that's a tough one. It's like, yeah, they can't make that decision then because it's not them. But like, what about preparing something? What about some sort of clause? Now that's when it gets tricky because who's to say that, well, you've hit, this is definitely stage 3. This is that thing we're talking about where, they agreed when they were fine that if I get to this, then make it, make me go away kind of thing. That's tough. because people could abuse that, I suppose, for
Yes.
personal gain or something, I guess, right?
One of the interesting people that they followed in this How to Die in Oregon, because they were talking to people who were really defending it. Like the one woman was doing it for her husband who had passed from a very aggressive cancer and had a miserable time at the end and could not, because the law was not in place at this time, could not take a death with dignity route. So she was very passionate about it. And they were talking to this other woman who was dying of liver cancer, and same thing. She's like, if I get to the point where I can't do this anymore, I have this and I'm going to use this. They talked to a gentleman who had been diagnosed, I think, with a cancer. I think it would have been lung cancer. Not very wealthy, definitely under the poverty line. And he wanted to continue with chemotherapy. This guy wanted to, fight this as long as he could. Right. And he was saying they were saying, well, okay, you could do that, but there's also this. Here's this death with dignity. And like he was feeling like, I don't even want you to give me that option. Why are you like telling me about this when I want to know about what chemotherapies I want to get? Right. Because he kind of took it as an insult, because he's like, I don't even want this option, yet they're throwing this option at me. Wow. Why are they doing that? Do they not want to spend the money on me? Right. And it wasn't forced on him, but just having that option there was interesting to see the dichotomy of what some, like you think, oh, why wouldn't everybody really be into this? And obviously there's, for religious reasons, a lot of people are not. But it was an interesting dichotomy to see it in a different light, something that is offered.
Right. I get it. We're all scared. We all, because, you can be comforted all you want in your faith and all that, but no one really knows, and I don't care. You can be the most devout person. My mother was extremely devout Catholic. She, and she had mental issues, and she no, I'm not saying the two were anything to do, but please take me. I'm ready, God, that kind of stuff, whatever. But at the end, I don't know. There's a certain finding peace with it has got to be one of the most, as weird as it sounds, probably one of the most fulfilling feelings you could ever have as a human being. Because talk about looking the unknown void into the eye and going, all right, I get this. This is what it is. So, yeah. Go ahead, Rose, your thoughts?
So on that topic, I had my great Aunt Beth, who I love so much. She lived to be, I think, almost 93. Wow. And the last time I saw her, I think she was, it was like in the final year of her life. And she said to me, she was like, I've done everything I want to do. I've had 2 husbands that would have eaten dirt for me. I have a beautiful family. Like, I'm done. And at that point, like, she was riddled with like arthritis, and like she was very sound of mind. I mean, like, as much as anyone who's in their like 90s is. But like, she was just at the point where like she had done everything she wanted to do in this life. And like, again, it was one of those moments, like, it's heartbreaking to hear, but at the same time, it's like kind of beautiful at the same time. And it's like, if she had been afforded that option, like, I feel like her end days might have been a little nicer, because she wouldn't have had to languish for as long as she did. And
it doesn't sound like she's life, misery. It sounds like the opposite.
No, she was so grateful.
It sounds like the grateful, perfect way of saying it. It's the opposite of being like, I suffered and this sucked and I got. No, it's like, I'm grateful.
She had such a
I don't want to
rich
take
life.
Almost like, it almost sounds like she's like, I don't want to overstay my welcome or take more than my share, kind of a thing. Up. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. That's really interesting.
Yeah, and it was like, really, I mean, like I said, like I think I was like 21 at the time when she was saying this to me. So like, obviously I didn't want her to go, but like at the same time, like thinking back on it, I'm like, wow, like what a tremendous thing to be able to say, like at the end of your life.
Strong.
Like, wow.
Yeah. Well, really easy to say when you're 93 too, right?
Well, I mean,
right, and I think that's.
No, I'm kidding. I'm teasing.
But that's a great thing, right? That's the good. The thing is, if I feel like, especially in our culture, like we try to fight off death tooth and nail sometimes to the detriment of the person who is dying, because especially when you're talking about older people and people who are obviously in their end years, right? And the thing about it, if you're not if you could talk about death and try and look at it logically as the end of a cycle that is going to happen, I feel like you always talk about a good death. Like, I feel like a good death, it makes it, as much as you'll miss the person, will make the whole process seem less scary and more, like you said, fulfilling and more peaceful. Like, if you know that you're passing and you're like, okay, I know that this is not going to end well with me. You have your palliative care. You have your hospice care. You can maybe plan to do hospice at home. Not a lot of people want to die in a hospital. No. If you could go home, be in your own environment, have family around, have people be able to come and visit you, even if you're, it doesn't have to be on your deathbed. Your deathbed could be several months if you do it right and are comfortable and kept.
I want a death water bed, real sexy.
There you go.
Like
whatever you
candles.
need. Death water bed, just float away at sea like a Viking. It would be fabulous.
Exactly. So
it's like that good death, and it's I think if people are afraid of it and want to fight it, it's hard to have a good death if you're going to do that. You cannot
have the mechanism of life without death. It's part of it. That's it.
Right.
Right. And it doesn't mean it's not hard. It doesn't mean that.
No.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're a human being, but
there's grace in the hard, right? That's giving the person the death that they want, whether it's like, a grandmother saying, I don't want to do this anymore, or or getting diagnosed with something and saying, I'm 85. No, we're not going to do anything.
There you go. Lady pooping to dignity. It's all about dying with dignity. There you go.
Right. It's like, I'm going to go home and you're going to keep me comfortable and I'm going to be in my house. And if anybody wants to come and visit me, great. And when it comes time for me to pass, I want to do it.
And it's an individual,
the way I want
it's the ultimate individual choice. That's the thing.
Right. And there'll be some people who be like, I want to be hooked up to every fucking machine you could possibly stick things up my nose.
Keep me breathing.
Right. And if that's what you want, then you can have that. But I feel like that's the default sometimes.
Cut my head
not
off,
necessarily. I don't want to be an 85-year-old person, if I make it that far, and them doing CPR and cracking my chest because, somebody's like, oh, you got to do whatever you can to keep them alive.
Well, and we've all been through that with pets. It's a, I get it. I'm not comparing. I'm not one of those like my babies are the same as your kids, but it's a micro version of it. It's like at some point, who's it for? Mm-hmm. Squeeze a couple more heartbeats out just to be alive is not living a life.
And that's hard. And if you love somebody and you want them around as long as they can possibly be around, it's a selfish thing, but you got to think about the person.
The great Ted Williams, Hall of Fame, of course, baseball player, All-American great. His son had his head cut off and frozen in a cryogenic lab. His head is still sitting somewhere on like a tuna can looking thing. Like, what the? Because they find some way to bring him back. It's like
just waiting for Futurama.
There you go. You know what? On that fucking note, Futurama. I love it. A Futurama reference. What else I want to say about that? I guess that's it. Now, of course, we're not done yet. Maria. I know. But I think that was good. Exactly. I think exactly. It's about choice, dignity, and basically, people, make some amends. Tell people that you love. Hold on. This is kind of funny.
This coming in.
No, hold on. Where'd it go? It didn't update yet. Hold on. It's a little slow on the update thing. This little thing I use to get the app here. Come on. Where you at? Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. There it is. Refresh.
Excuse me.
Cause what?
Lady Poopington again. It's just genius. You should have gotten a sponsor who does living wills.
Oh.
If you want to make your final arrangements, call the good folks at Dan's Wills and Four Wheelers.
That sounds like a Boyertown business.
Yeah.
It really does.
I'm
not so sure. I didn't think of it because it might actually exist somewhere.
And bait shop.
And
There you
bait
go.
shop. That's
Totally.
right.
Yep.
You want to
And they
die
sell
with
puppies in
dignity.
the back.
You could sell your fingers for bait, get a little extra cash for the kids for the funeral. There you go. Lady Poopington, you're always thinking, you're right. I should tailor sponsorships to the topics. You know what's a great topic? Amazon. Online shopping's wonderful, isn't it? And Wendy's, those hamburgers are fantastic.
Oh, they're delicious. Their fries are
so good. So
delicious.
good.
Very good. Very good.
All right, so I don't think Rose knows about this. Rose, you're about to enjoy a segment here. You get to be a part of a segment that's sweeping the country by storm. It's the question that on everyone's mind, and that question is, am I the asshole?
Ooh.
Oh, hold on. And before we continue, very quickly, going back to the ad, the lovely Patty Colcher. Hello, I'd like to start a podcast. How would like to service me? She's on meds. Close enough. There you go. And
That's pretty impressive if she's still on heavy-duty meds.
I think
impressed.
you know how I want to service you. So, hey, give me a little ringy, you know what I mean? Okay, that can't wait.
Patty, you don't have to text. Just call him
That's
straight.
right. Patty gets to do whatever. Patty can send
involved.
smoke signals. I don't care. Whatever she wants to do. There you go. All right. So, Maria, give us the quick little rundown about what is Am I the Asshole? And what we'll hear this week's show. I would say weeks. This week. We don't do it every week. Whatever. This show's topic. Go.
This show's topic. Okay. Well, there's a subreddit out there called Am I the Asshole, where people will throw out various scenarios that they've been in or decisions that they've made or are going to make to ask the world, the internet of the world of the internet, whether or not
the public at large,
the interwebs, all the tubes, so many tubes. Let them know if what they're doing, if that makes them an asshole or not. So basically, they ask if they're going to be
put
an
it out
asshole
there
by doing this.
For the,
Yes.
let's say, the public jury
Some of them-
side, like,
right.
hey, you know what? Here's a scenario that happened to me. Was I in the wrong, or was it old grandma over there? Whatever. All right, so here we go.
Right.
What do we got, Maria?
So what I have today is, would I be the asshole for turning down an added responsibility position at my minimum wage job because I know no employees ever paid more than minimum wage there? I work as a cashier, stocker, bartender at a busy local farm/orchard. I have a great work ethic and have been recognized by my manager and the company owner for such. Unfortunately, because my employer refuses to ever pay more than minimum wage, they eventually lose all of their best workers because they promote them to opening and closing responsibilities, supervising other less motivated workers, staying until all the customers leave the property, and balancing the till at the end of the day. So basically, you're getting more responsibility and stress with no hope of advancement and with no benefits. They have been having a difficult time getting new employees because even the local high school students can make more money elsewhere, and the rising cost of gas limits who is willing to drive out to the farm. I'm worried about the farm going out of business because it provides an important local source of fresh produce. They keep their U-Pick prices low and allow people to purchase produce with EBT food stamps. I have a college degree, but am in transition and took this job as a temporary, easy, low-stress gig while I am taking some classes. Recently, one of our best employees and the hardest workers left, and I have been offered her position as a closer opener. Am I an asshole for refusing the position because they won't pay me more when they are having trouble getting employees? I don't know what they're going to do. If they can't find someone, the manager and or the owner will have to do it.
All right. Rose, you know what? I like to do a quick little synopsis. I always say that word wrong. So basically, there's a person. I'm not sure if we actually, it doesn't matter.
A person.
They have a minimum wage job at sort of a roadside farm stand.
Local farm,
Local farm, and they do a lot of the picking and whatever and all that. And they want them to do even more, but without the added money.
Right.
All right.
So basically giving them more responsibilities, but not
no raising money.
But not raising the pay.
All right, Rose, your thoughts go.
I don't think that person's an asshole for not accepting the position. I do think it is interesting because clearly, so Chad calls me a Care Bear because I care too much. And I think it's interesting, though, that part of the reason that they're thinking that they might be an asshole is because clearly this farm is doing good things for the community in like offering the assistance with the EBT and
community something agriculture. Denise, what is it? Because I know someone that does it. I forget what it's called. See something.
The CSA. No,
CSA.
This is offering EBT.
They're doing the EBTs for food stamps for people who wouldn't normally be able to afford fresh produce.
So like, I mean, that's like a really, really cool thing that a lot of places will not do. So, but like this person is saying that they're not going to get anything for it.
Right.
And they're being asked to do a lot more. Yeah. It's
and we don't know
you still want to be a part of it.
Right.
But like, I don't think that's unfair.
Exactly. Because we don't know their situation. We don't know their, how they're getting by, if they're just, or if they're fine, or if they have, I'm a trust fund kid and I just do this for kicks, but as dumb as that sounds or whatever, you get the point. You don't know actually what's going on with these people, I think.
Yeah. But
more work, not more pay. I don't know, Maria?
Yeah, no, I think she's totally within the right. Even if it was it sounds like, because she does feel like this farm does serve a great purpose for the community and she doesn't want to see it go away. I get that. Yeah. Even if it was like a good faith thing, like, look, I'm not asking you for $20 an hour, but if you could like 50 cents, like something as far as a good faith effort to say, I understand that we're giving you a lot more responsibility, but it seems like clearly they've tried it with other people and other people are like, nope, I'm leaving. Yeah. And there seems to be a disconnect there, which makes me wonder, like, either they don't care, right? That people are going to keep leaving.
We don't know
there's
not some emotional extortion here. Like Rose had a very good point about like, well, we're doing good stuff and we're trying to be nice and help. Well, maybe they're weaponizing that against the woman. Like, we can't pay you more, but it's like, that's not fair.
But we do good things, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And well, the last thing that she just said is, I don't know what they're going to do. If they can't find someone, the manager and or owner will have to do it.
So let them do it.
So
let them do it. And maybe if they don't like doing it, they'll be like, you know what? Maybe I will give somebody another extra 70 cents an hour to open and close.
I get it. It's tough. Like with a small business.
It is tough.
Because it's like, we need the money. You got to pay the people to do the good job, which could make people want to come back because it's a good service. But it's a cycle. But then you have to. But you can't pay them because you can't afford it because you're not getting the business yet. But you need the good people, which you get by paying more, and so on and so on and so on. But that said, listen.
And even if
listen, you chiselers, fucking pay up, you fucking chiselers. Give her the fucking money.
I mean, I'm not a business person. I've never created a business model. Don't know what that really means.
You're a working girl. What are you talking about? Wink.
So, but yeah, like he says, they like to keep prices low. Okay, well, you don't have to jump the price from $3.99 for a quart of berries you pick yourself to $8.99, but maybe you go $4.50. Try to. Especially now, things are getting a little more expensive, and even, I mean, not that you have to jack the price up astronomically, but just try a small increase to see if that's acceptable and palatable to the customers.
You'd be surprised what people will support. The community will support you.
Yeah, right. Well, especially if it's, like I said, if it's a local farm that people like to go to and come to and want to support. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't bat an eye to something that went up 15 cents, 20 cents, 25 cents.
Because I know people I know farmers. And we've had
one
on the show.
You're friends with farmers.
I'm friends with farmers. And it's a fucking raise your thin margin.
It is.
You want to get rich, you don't become a farmer, that's for sure. I get it. But ultimately, this person's they got to eat, they got to pay rent. They got to, again, I don't know their life. I don't know if they have kids, blah, 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 all that, whatever. It's, they have
that's
a right.
The thing too.
They have a right to make the money they want. If it means getting another opportunity, good luck to you, I guess, right? So we all agree that the person writing it is not really the asshole.
No,
and this might be one of those, like,
she's She's very
what
kind.
happens where
They're
no
very
one's really the asshole. It's not like someone has to be the asshole.
It's just
like I said,
it's a
unless
tough situation, right?
Yeah, unless they are like manipulating her emotionally, like we can't do it without you. Then that's kind of bullshit. But if it's just that's the situation, and that's just, I don't think there's necessarily any assholery going on. It's just
right
how it is.
It's sort of just an impasse.
Yeah, an impasse.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, well, not impasse.
Not the asshole.
Not the asshole. All right. So there's another wonderful segment of Am I the Asshole? All right, we're gonna start to bring the tar out on the field here. No, that would mean a delay. What? That doesn't make sense. Very quickly, Rose pointed this out to me last night because I like to, when we have guests on, I like to talk ahead of time to get things set up, make sure we're lighting, blah, blah, blah. And she mentioned Rose's last name is Azrael. Rose, quickly, tell us what that is. The funny that we brought up this, I had you on for this topic. Go ahead.
Yes. So Azrael is the biblical name of the angel of death.
What?
So I had asked Gary, I was like, so is that why you requested my presence on this show? Or just because you knew I was going to cry?
Well, number one, I like to, well, I said number one, there's no number two. What?
I mean, there could be. Let's talk to the toilet later.
Exactly. I respect you making the assumption that I would fucking know anything about that I would actually know a vague fact like that. Vague. The Bible.
I just know
the most read. Hold on. Did I just call a biblical thing vague? Like the most read book in the history of humanity. I'm like, oh, that thing. Who reads that thing?
Well, I mean, it is fiction, so.
There you go. Oh, shit.
Rare.
Great. Now we're going to get a bunch of phone calls and emails. Good, keep it up. Keep it up. No press is bad press. So there you go. So the angel of death, Azrael, and we talked about that. That's kind of weird.
Azrael.
It's a little kooky.
Yeah.
And I was saying I like inadvertently kind of have like the most goth name in the history of the world.
Yeah.
You do.
Because like Rose is like, ooh, goth.
Yeah.
Roses.
I picture black petals and
Azrael.
things.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. And of course, Maria's maiden name is Barbieri, which is Italian. Get this, Italian for hey, get out of here. That's all
What's the matter with you?
What's the matter with you?
Barber. It's Italian for barber.
All right. So very quickly, Rose, we also talked about this last night. I met Maria through doing local theater. That's also how I met Rose. And she is producing a play. Give us the quick plug, where, when, how, and a quick little, because it was fascinating when you were telling me what it was about last night.
So the show is called Indecent, and it is happening at the Players Club of Swarthmore, which is in Swarthmore, Pennsylvania.
Delco.
That's where I live.
Woo, woo.
And I've never, ever been proud to live here. Sorry.
Hell,
But so the show is called Indecent, and it doesn't really have a happy ending, but it's in history, so that's cool. Yeah. And the show is basically about a show within a show, and it revolves around the first homosexual kiss on the American, New York stage. Yeah. And all of the actors in the show were consequently brought up on charges of indecency, and shipped back to Europe.
Like this show has been several times.
Precisely, yes. Yeah. Except we're in much more lenient times.
That's true.
And because the majority of the cast was also Jewish, many of those people did not survive the Holocaust since they were shipped back to Europe. So like I said, delightful, really fun, happy, upbeat show.
Yeah.
But
like this episode,
the dance number in the
yucks.
second act is amazing.
Yeah.
What's that?
The dance number in the second act is amazing.
Yeah,
it's a good one.
Little tap number.
Yeah. What's funny about that is that there is actually music in the show. There are a bunch of musicians that are a part of the cast.
Right.
So there's actually a violinist and a clarinet player.
Is there some klezmer in it?
I believe there may be.
I'm not kidding. I swear to God, I fucking love klezmer music. But it's
good stuff.
Dude, it is awesome. I am not making a joke. There's a lot of clarinet. And I fucking love it. I do. I like Woody Allen's music. Go figure. Yeah. So
the guy who's directing it is a gay man, and he wanted, of course, to have a Jewish person as his producer. So he's like, we're just going to round out our cast with the rest of the land of misfit toys, and we'll just make a show of it.
There you go.
So,
all right, so
that's the goal. And that's in January.
January. Okay, so once again,
great.
Where, when, and when?
So it is in January. I'm sorry, I don't know the actual dates at the top of my head. At the Players Club of Swarthmore.
So go to this website and probably you just Google Players Club of Swarthmore.
PCStheater.org.
So I say that again. I was yapping. Sorry. Go ahead.
PCStheater.org.
Right. And the show is called
Indecent.
Indecent. So there you go. So listen, you uncultured swine, get in your car in January, drive to the Players Club of Swarthmore, and enjoy some powerful night of theater. Mm-hmm. Well, there you go.
I've seen several shows at Swarthmore. They do a really wonderful job. It's a beautiful theater, and there's lots of really great restaurants outside in Swarthmore to go and frequent before or after the show. Do it. It's a lot. It's a great place to see a show.
There you go. Maria, anything you want to mention? Anything coming up?
Theatrically, nothing. I am now officially full-time employed.
You got that
as
job
of next week. Nice. I got the job. Yeah. Nice. So I'm going to be a teacher's aide for the Montgomery County Intermediate Unit. So I go to training next week. I got all my clearances. Good to know. Nothing's out there. No outstanding warrants or nothing. Yeah.
It turns out flashing your boobs that time at the Jersey Shore in '86 didn't catch up with you.
I was going to say it's just paperwork. I don't know, got lost or something.
Yes.
But yeah, no. So I'm excited for that, and start at the Springford School District at the end of August.
Awesome.
So, yay me!
Woo!
Yeah.
That's it. So check us out, of course. Once again, if you're here again, whatever. But make sure you subscribe, smash that like button. Tell people about it, because again, seriously, word of mouth. All right, I know we have a stable of regular viewers, and do your old pal Gara and Maria and Rose a favor, and just put it out there. Just share it on your social media, subscribe, that kind of thing, and also check us out on Facebook, Backroom Show, Backroom Network. We have a Twitter and an Instagram. Not as active on those as I should be, but we'll try to be better about that. And one more thing before we go, point of personal privilege here. A few weeks ago, speaking of the local theater community here in Reading, we lost, now I'm going to fucking cry. We lost a giant of an individual. The great Carol Butler passed away at, I believe, 73. Carol Butler and her husband, Ed, were a couple that brought a wonderful missing aspect of theater, a minority angle into theater that had been non-existent for a long time. And what was great about them, what they would do is, these are people that you'd fall in love with them, but they also wouldn't take no for an answer. They're like, they had people in their shows that had never done shows before, or maybe not even since, but they were like, hey, listen, you would be good. You're in this show now. And they're like, what? No. You're in this show now. And goddamn it, those people did a fucking show. And you know what? They put on a goddamn great show. So Carol brought a lot, and they did a lot of stuff with youth theater also. They are beloved people now that are in their 30s or whatever, when they used to do stuff with them when they were kids and all that. And they're always, there you go, Rose. They are warmly remembered. Mm-hmm. So I just want to say, Carol, thanks for the memories and the friendship. And we love you. And you're awesome. So, and I'm sure you're probably up in heaven somewhere going, you're going to be in this play we're going to do right now. So, and they're like, okay, I guess I am. So anyway, so that's it. So I'm going to get that out there. And I saved it to the end because, all right. That's it, everybody. Thank you so much. And again, this is also an audio podcast, so thank you for our listeners and our viewers. And again, subscribe, do all that stuff, interact with us. We want to get to know you and hear you and want to know what you got to say and feel and think and all that stuff. But don't get too personal, because then it gets weird. Okay, so anyway, thank you so much. And we will see you next time. Where, Maria?
In the back room.
Boom. See ya.